Microsoft, being a $2.5 trillion of company in market cap valuation, has its own business challenges and their product challenges and operational challenges. To conduct this discussion, I have Mayuresh and Nirantar with me. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aditya Kulkarni, and we are here to discuss business problems and challenges, and also how we can solve them using data. So stay tuned towards the end of the video, and if you like such content, please hit like and share it with your friends and colleagues so that we reach to more people. So we'll start with Mayuresh, and Mayuresh will tell us the problems that Microsoft is currently facing, and then we will move on to Nirantar, and he will also contribute to the problems that Microsoft is facing. So go ahead, Mayuresh.
As we can see, the Microsoft is a very big company for software and hardware products. So they are facing basically in four types of problem that four types of problems they are facing in the market right now, that are mobile ecosystem, cloud computing, and uh, market partnership with the manufacturers. Partnership with the manufacturers. The first one is a mobile. Microsoft come up with the uh, Lumia series uh, before,
Mm-hmm.
I think so, 3 to 4 years ago, but they can't cope up with the Android and iPhone in the market. Their products were good, but they are not. They doesn't get the market as such as iPhone and Android phones. So their
Okay.
biggest loss, they have a biggest loss in that mobile market. Then the cloud computing, in the cloud computing they have to they have the very challenge, they have many challenges like data security and data leak risk,
Mm-hmm.
then data transfer, data storage, and data backup. And in these are the basic challenges in cloud computing segment, and they are facing these problems as on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
In the gaming sector, they are facing that the Xbox price is more than PlayStation and other consoles, so people tend to buy that cheapest consoles for gaming, and the games for that Xbox are also at a high price.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to come up with the solution on that, so they can gain the gaming market also. As for the manufacturing partnership, the companies like HP, Dell, Samsung, Lenovo, that are
Mm-hmm.
manufacturers for the computer products. So they have to maintain that partnership with them for the software products and other things. So that companies are, if the Microsoft products are expensive and uh, not attaining their you can say not attaining their basic requirements for that product. So they
Mm-hmm.
are going to switch to Ubuntu and Linux like OS.
Okay.
So Microsoft has to come up with the solution so they can maintain that partnership with them. Then ecosystem, they have to sustain in the ecosystem of the hardware and software products also. They have to develop new updates, new apps for their OS and the hardware products. So these are the challenges they are facing, basically facing right now in the market.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Great, great. So
My side.
you have largely covered all the areas where Microsoft uh, present itself as a company, and what kind of challenges you kind of roughly brought everything to the table. Now, Nirantar, would you like to discuss your problems that you have identified for Microsoft?
Yeah, so as Mayuresh mentioned, the mobile industry.
Mm-hmm.
So mobile industry for any operating system developing company, mobile industry is means to crack the mobile industry is important
Mm-hmm.
because if we can connect our ecosystem of mobile with the laptops, personal computers, then it will be very easy for user to maintain only one product and to keep the uh, means set up products with the only one company. No need to buy different companies products.
Okay.
So yeah, so that is one, the mobile sector that they have not cracked. And also the manufacturing partnership, as Mayuresh mentioned, they have to maintain their relationship, and also they do not have any control over the design of the product. So any manufacturer will design as they want, and Microsoft will have to insert their operating system on that product. So
Mm-hmm.
there is no choice for Microsoft to design the product. They have done some designing by means developing some product like Surface tablet and all, but those did not acquire as much as market share as they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And also their innovative thinking, I think, is lacking in Microsoft, because as Apple have developed itself from number of years, they
Mm-hmm.
have incrementally increased their market share as well as the profit. But Microsoft is a stagnant in that area also. So that means it can cause the problems such as attrition among the employees as well. So that is one of the challenges for Microsoft, because they are losing their talented employees to the other big companies.
Mm.
And also now there is an ecosystem problem, that Microsoft has their own store for applications on the operating system, but
Mm-hmm.
as there is no incentive for developers to develop the apps on that store,
Mm.
developers do not means try to develop and new and innovative apps on the app store, and it is not very attractive as well in the Microsoft store. So that is to increase that as also one of the challenges for them.
Mm-hmm.
And also everyone is now shifting to cloud, and anyone can develop the applications, web applications that they want, and they are cross platform. It is not like they would need only Windows operating system to run their application.
Yeah.
So there is no dependency for the operating system as well. So that is one of the challenges again for Microsoft to mitigate that. Anyone
Mm-hmm.
can use any operating system now. And also as we know, Apple iOS is means Apple is very means it is not cheap to buy Apple products, but
Mm-hmm.
still Apple is trying to bring down their prices as well. And people now can afford the products of Apple and other, and also there are open source operating systems available, so
Mm-hmm.
people tend to choose that as well. So this is
Okay.
another challenge. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So I guess you both have concluded these different challenges that the industries is putting up for Microsoft, and individually there are certain companies with whom Microsoft is competing. One might be Apple, then in gaming it might be Sony, right? PS5. So largely, this is absolutely great that you guys have come up with these much problems, and that's what we are trying to achieve. And the next thing that I want to give you some insight basis what kind of problems Microsoft is currently facing. This is something that you are, or maybe you guys have thought of, they will face to maybe increase their market share or increase their profitability. But at the same point, there is one more critical portion about Microsoft, which is to run their daily operations also. Microsoft is in itself a huge company. They have all maybe some lakhs of employees all over the globe, uh, and they have some million or billion of users across the globe, right? So there are few challenges that I will just try to highlight, and I'll just write my name then. So first is password reset. You might be thinking why password reset would be a problem for Microsoft, right? Okay, so right now maybe let's say they have 100 million users, and let's say 10% of that population reset their password every month. So in a year everyone resets their password. So to run those operations, they need two things. One is tech support, and second is their servers to run those requests. And those two things cost money, and that's why password reset has become a problem for the entire industry, because now people are having so much of password. Every one of us, like I might have 10 to 12 different passwords to different websites. Mayuresh will have, Nirantar will have, right? Everyone have it. Everyone is having it at a certain point of time in their life, and remembering everything is becoming difficult. So for that, they need to constantly reset their password because they forget it, and that adds in cost to organization. Second is piracy. So second is piracy, and piracy means they want to give out free Windows to everyone who is using at home, but they do not want to give it to people who are using it at their office for their maybe monetary gain purposes. It might be office, or maybe working from somewhere remotely also. So for that purpose, they need to sell those Windows. So what they have come up with right now as a solution, that they give it a kind of an one-time license copy on the laptop whenever customer is buying a laptop, and it's very cheap. They do not increase the cost of laptop by significant amount. So for example, Dell would manufacture 1 million laptop in a month. So eventually Dell will add 1 million copies of Windows, and those copies will not have keys. If you see any of those laptops, they are not key based softwares for those laptops. So from that perspective, they are trying to tackle, let's say that it costs 7,000 rupees to buy an Windows original copy of Windows, right? So now over that 7,000, what they are doing is, instead of giving a key copy, just once time installation, which is not irreversible. Like if you remove that, you format your disk, you will not get that same copy again, right? So that kind of copy is getting out to the manufacturers, let's say 2,000 3,000 bucks. So cost between a DOS based laptop and a copy based Windows laptop is going drastically down. So earlier the difference used to be 7,000-8,000 or 10,000. Now it is barely 4,000-5,000. So that's how they are trying to solve the piracy problem also. And third, which is interesting, that you both have mentioned it, it's mobile, right? And Microsoft is moving its focus to mobile sometime, बहुत पहले उन्होंने किया था शायद, but now they have understood that if design and software is both in your hands, then you can grow in the market like Apple is doing, but you cannot simply copy someone's model and grow into the market. So that's why they are not constantly focusing on maybe mobile industry, but what they are focusing on tablet industry right now, because the only competition in tablet industry right now is two tablets, maybe iPad and maybe Galaxy tablet from Samsung. Those are the two main competitors in the market, and where the competition is very less, the market is huge. So that's where they are focusing, and they are developing Surface tablets much more efficiently compared to anything else. But again, it's in Windows, and Windows have its own challenges, and still they are dependent for their chips on partners like Intel or maybe Snapdragon. So those people will provide the chipset, whereas in Apple's case, or even in Samsung's case, they are developing their own SoCs, right? And they are building their chipset. So for example, Apple build A15, A14 Bionic chips, then M1. Samsung is doing their own chipsets. So those things also gives them an architectural advantage where they can optimize their softwares much more efficiently. So why maybe Apple products are so respected in terms of innovation, because they have everything integrated into the one ecosystem where they develop the chipset, they know the chipset architecture, they know their software architecture, they can both work seamlessly together. So those are the large points, and I just wanted to understand what kind of problem or whatever we discussed. Do you want to discuss something much more detail so that we can do it in next 5 minutes? Any point that you think that this, if we can discover this more?
No, from my side.
No. So that's cool. In the next video we will discuss about what kind of data points these guys can try to track, so that they get an understanding about their growth into the particular sector, and what kind of uh, insights they can get from those data, and that will drive the actions on those particular business problems. So thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.